I remember when I was more or less your age and I was thinking what I would do next. I wanted to program because that's the activity I enjoyed the most, and I didn't want to be promoted into managing other people programming. Do you have any idea what is the thing you like to do most and what you would like to do in your professional life?
Yeah. As a new graduate, I will definitely start from doing the actual programming work that is close to the repo, to like learn and improve some skills, and to get familiar with the code base and so on. And I think I will enjoy that because I really like specific techniques and practicing to get better at things, and also getting to really build things by programming is also quite a fulfilling experience. But I know that some people would move up to managing roles as their career develops, and I'm actually not against that because I feel like when you are actually programming, you're like a person, one person, and what you can coordinate, what resources are at hand, are the programming languages and the tools you have. But if you move on to a managing role, then you are actually coordinating a team of programmers. So it enables you to like look at things at a slightly higher level point of view. So and also to coordinate things at a higher like efficiency because you have a lot of workforce that you can coordinate. So you can do bigger things with one mind. Um, I think I don't know yet, but I feel like managing would be fine for me if I find it comfortable to like attend meetings and like assigning jobs. Yeah, because I think managing is something that is more like real life because as a programmer you sit in front of the computer most of the time, and it is quite cool to instruct the computer to do what you want, um, but sometimes when you step back it feels for me it feels like a little bit divided from my life. It is cool though, like having doing different things in like different time. Like I'm just programming from this time to this time, and then I will close my computer and do other things. It is a work style that I like, but for managing, it's like you have more interactions with people, and you get to make more decisions on like which direction you want this say product to move toward. So I think that will be like more closely like integrated with the daily life, and I think as it is something that takes practice to get good at. I think it should be another kind of rewarding experience to like nurture your product and see where it goes. Yeah, it is just a different form. Like instead of coordinating the programming tools, you now coordinate um, people or a team, but you still do the same thing, like working towards the same goal. So I think I'm not really against that. We'll see.
Yes, well, I think you can see much further than I could at the time because it took me many more years to understand that even if I like, for example, woodworking, I might like to make a table. Like I can't make a table. Like, let's pretend, okay, I would like to make this table, and I like to do things. I like plumbing. I like doing electrical work and so on and so on. But if I wanted to do each of these jobs on my own, it would take me 30 years to build my own house. Whereas if I say, okay, well, I'll ask an electrician to do this thing, I'll ask a plumber to do this thing, I'll ask a carpenter to do these other things, then I can actually have my house built in a reasonable time, and I can then go and live in it. And so in that sense, I mean, it took me many years to understand that actually doing everything by myself may be satisfying in the small, but it would never allow me to do a bigger thing that I could do if I had 10 other people working with me.
Yeah.
Yes, so well done to you for seeing that earlier on. Now, when you're speaking about, I ask you about how do you exercise your freedom at university, and what do you do beyond your coursework? The things you mentioned sounded, if you don't mind me saying, a bit like still more work-related things. Yes, I go to the Artificial Intelligence Society. I go to the was it that you said?
The competitive programming.
Yeah, competitive programming. They're all still core computer science things, basically. Do you do any other things like sports or theater or paragliding or stuff like that?
Yeah, so for my personal hobby, I sing in a choir, in a college choir, although not Trinity, but anyways. So I like singing, and singing in a choir is like a good way to relax for me because like after a whole day, like in the computer lab, it is really nice to take a few hours out and context switch to something else and dedicate the hours to singing. It's a really nice way to refresh my mind, I would say. Um, and also for sports, last year I was rowing in college. Um, but
Rowing
yeah, rowing.
on the river Cam,
Yeah, yeah.
waking up at 6 a.m.
Well, that's like a rumor, I think.
I've never done rowing, but I hear people have to wake up super early to go rowing
Yeah,
before the lecture.
but at least from my experience, most outings are in reasonable times. It is not that bad.
Okay.
Yeah, but later on I found that my personal like physical ability is not that well. So like because rowing is a teamwork, everyone is on a boat and you have to row at the same pace. I found it a bit hard to keep up with my group mates. So I decided to lower the commitment, and then this year I'm not really rowing anymore. That's also like a decision I make, balancing the time I put into, and also I think it's mostly because like I can't really keep up with them, so I want to switch the sport. So now I'm mostly running on my own, like usually in the evening because I like to run in darkness. Yeah, it's like transforming from a team sport into an individual sport so that I can control my pace and also be more flexible on the time.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't envy you going running in the darkness in this cold weather here.
Oh yeah, it has been quite cold now. I need to consider how to cope with it, but yeah, I think I will keep on running.
Yes. Well, you only just came back to Cambridge, you're telling me,
Yeah.
from the Christmas break, so it has been pretty cold.
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned about the greater freedom that you found in your course compared to your school. Well, you would get more and more and more freedom because in the first year, I mean, you have the freedoms that you described. I mean, there are lectures laid out for you. You can go or not go. But actually, the choice of lectures is decided by us. In the second year, the choice of lectures is still decided by us, but you're not going to be examined on all of them. You get to choose which ones you're examined on. So you're free to go to all the lectures that we set out as, you should go to all this stuff, but some of them you can kind of put in the background because you decide to focus more on the theory as opposed to the systems, as opposed to the networking, as opposed to the human aspects or whatever direction, artificial intelligence, God knows what else. Whereas in the third year of the undergraduate tripos, you will have even more freedom and you will specialize in topics that are very narrowly focused. And so you get more and more freedom. And if you go into graduate studies after that, then it's even greater freedom, where at the end of that you will have an exam where you choose your own questions. You decide, I'm going to be this world specialist on this particular topic.
Yeah.
So as you get to exercise more and more of these freedoms, which part of computer science do you feel drawn towards? Do you have things that already start to appeal to you?
Yeah, I have a vague sense of what I'm interested in. So from my experience in the courses, I feel like I'm quite interested in, as I said, the semantics course and also the logic and proof. Well, that's the name of a course that didn't happen yet, but I mean the logical things in programming and also in mathematics. So I find that quite interesting. And as I mentioned earlier, another interest was in like concurrent and distributed systems, that direction. I feel like they have something in common, which is we need to kind of reason rigorously about something that's practical. I find I'm quite attracted to that direction.
So the theory and mathematical foundations of computing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a field for very clever people like you.
I don't know, I will see.
Yeah, no, that's a very good to be attracted towards that, because your ability for rigorous thinking can be used to lay the foundations for more complex things that we can then build and work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very exciting and very active field of computer science. You can make good contributions in there if that's your thing.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're aware that in your third year you will choose an individual project, and you will end up with a dissertation that's worth about a quarter of your final year course marks.
Yeah.
And so you can start thinking, I like this type of stuff, and I want to see a project. What other projects have the people in this area done in the past? And you can start getting the gears turning so that you contact someone early.
Okay.
When it's the right time.
Yeah, I need to prepare for that. Yes.
So you are in one of the best universities in the world, as you know, and the more you go towards the top of the pyramid, and the more competitive things become.
Yeah.
You've had to be very competitive and just to get in here. Now everybody in your class was equally competitive because they also got in, and they're like the top 1/10 of all the people who wanted to get in, and 90% didn't get in, and you guys got in, guys, girls. And as you go through, it's more okay. Now, of all these clever people in your class, a number will want to do, for example, the dissertation with the top professors in the theoretical computer science section, let's say, and there will not be space for all of them to work with the person you actually want. And so the more you've thought about it in advance, the more you're ready, and the more you contact them early and say, "Hi, I'm really excited about that," and the more you will get to do what you want. So there's competition at every stage, including choosing the right advisor for your dissertation for the final year project. Same for when you go into graduate studies, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
So, but you have many talents, and you have proved on many occasions, at least to me, that you can do good stuff. So look ahead, as you have been doing. I mean, you've said many insightful things about future to me here and the other time, and so keep doing that, and don't wait until the deadline to do stuff. Think ahead of time, and that's how you will get to do what you really want.
Okay, thanks for that advice.
Yes.